Hello everyone, you're watching Super Koski Show, the very first episode. That's me, John Koski, talking about all things tech, digital art, video games, crazy shit in Japan, and more. Okay, so last Friday...
Factual error. It's been 3 weeks since Apple released Snow Leopard, but at the time of the shooting of this video, it was last week.
Apple released their brand new operating system Snow Leopard for Macs, 64-bit and everything. So I was a little bit curious about the whole upgrade process, you know? So I went online to search for some video or some screencasts that explain the whole before and after scenario, but I couldn't find anything. So I said, fuck the internet, and I went out and bought it myself. So let's go.
So before we install comes the very most important step of all, and that is of course backup. I cannot stress enough how important this is. You need to back up your files. So in this example I use Time Machine because that's my weapon of choice, but you of course can use whatever you want as long as you back up your important files. So here's another fast and shitty unpacking video, because how exciting is it to unpack a disk anyway? Physical format's dead. Anyway, so it's designed by Apple in California, of course. Nice and sleek. Out pops the contents and in pops the disk. If I can get it out. Alright, let's see what this beast goes for. Okay, so the DVD contents window pops up. Let's go ahead and install that. Okay. Install window up, so let's go to utilities. This is only if you want to restore from a Time Machine backup or something like that. We don't need that, so go back and click continue. Agree to that, of course, and yes, that's the disk I want to install to. But first, let's customize. Check out this customizing things. X11 language translations, additional fonts. Printer support. Okay, so I don't think I need drivers for nearby and popular printers. I only need the one for my own. So that's printers used by my Mac. And additional fonts, sure, doesn't take up much. Language translations. Usually I uncheck most of these, but this time they really slim the size down, so I don't need to do that. X11 is good to have. Rosetta, don't really need that anymore. QuickTime 7, I don't want that, but maybe I'll keep that because it's good to have in case some videos doesn't work with a new QuickTime X. Let's go ahead and install. And yes, I'm sure. Install and pop in my password. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now from this point on, the installer quits all my apps, so I have to use my video camera to film the rest of the install procedure because I don't have any fancy equipment that can capture the signal from the video cable itself. So this is how it works. First it installs without rebooting, then it reboots, continues install like this. Roughly my upgrade took about 45 minutes. It said over 50 when I started, and it was a bit faster than that, so it doesn't take that much time actually. So installation is finished. You can restart. Reboots the Macintosh. Up comes the desktop. Pretty slow start this time, and it starts playing the regular Leopard intro video that we've seen 100 times. So that's it. Upgrade completed. So let's go ahead and eject that disk and the version number. So let's go to About This Mac. And there you have it, version 10.6. So let's have a look at a few of the new improvements in Snow Leopard. So first off, I want to talk about Mail. So the new version of Mail actually looks exactly the same as the old version, but the new things are that for us Gmail users, a lot of problems has been resolved. For example, we don't have to force quit it anymore. It quits just as it should. It syncs correctly with the IMAP server. So I'm really pleased to say that it finally works as it should. Other than that, it feels a little bit faster, and you had to upgrade the mail database first time you started it in Snow Leopard. So I'm just very happy with the new mail. Oh, And it now has support for Exchange as well, so the poor bastards who use Honor OS don't have to do that anymore. Stacks has been improved as well. So, for example, over here is my inspiration folder, which I used before I started using Little Snapper, which is a very good application. But anyway, this is a regular stack with folders and pictures in it. News is that you can actually enter folders inside your stack. So, for example, if we go into Steampunk over here, I have two pictures. I can open them right here, or I can also go back. Also, you can scroll. Let's find some folder with a lot of, oh, here for example. A lot of pictures, a lot of files, so it doesn't fit in one window. But new in Snow Leopard stacks is that you can actually scroll, which is very, very welcome. The new QuickTime X. So here I've downloaded one of my favorite internet shows of all time. It's the Angry Video Game Nerd, of course. So let's open that. Double click that and it opens in the new QuickTime player, QuickTime X. So here we have the new interface. Looks quite nice, although it overlaps the video instead of being on top of the window. Not much of a problem when you move away the cursor while the video is running. So let's take down the volume a bit. Play this. Go
Even
ahead
other times, jump all three. You might
scroll
do
a little bit.
They narrowed it down to the decade.
So
I guess
when
they
you
were
have
a
your
little
cursor
more
on, when
confident
you
with
move
the
your
date
cursor on the window,
the graphics are nice.
the
It looks like what you'd
interface
expect in a
floats
Godzilla game.
on top of
But
the movie.
gameplay
It's pretty
is
nice.
a totally different story.
And when you
You
move away your
control Godzilla,
cursor,
who's represented
it
by a blue
disappears
dot on the
magically.
map screen.
So you
The top
only
of the
have the
screen
video in
is just for
focus.
show.
It's very, very nice.
So playing
In Snow Leopard, Expose has improved a lot. While in Leopard and versions prior to that, applications just lined up in a row. When you had a lot of windows open, it was quite hard to see. The new improved version of Expose is really nice. So here's when I press the regular button to view all windows. Kind of a nice grid view. And it also rows them up by application. So here's Safari windows, Finder windows, and a QuickTime window. So let's click on Wikipedia. And here's when I just want to see the ones in the current application. So it also, again, a nice grid view. And a new feature of Snow Leopard is that you can minimize windows behind the application's dock icon. So if I do like this, it minimizes behind the Safari icon instead of over here. So now if I choose Expose, I can actually see windows that are minimized, which is very, very, very nice. I like that a lot. Also, if I choose all windows, I can see it. So as well here, if I minimize my applications window over here, goes back behind the Finder, and then do it like this, shows up in here. All in all, very nice improvement.
So that's Snow Leopard for you. Despite some few obvious bugs, like the new graphic driver seems a bit glitchy, and some incompatibilities like iStat menus doesn't work yet, or if you want to run ad block in Safari, you have to wait or run it in 32-bit mode because there's no 64-bit support yet. That's probably going to be fixed very soon, I guess, so it's pretty much a non-question. For all of you that has Leopard and an Intel Mac, go ahead and get it. $29, 3,300 yen. It's a bargain. So hopefully I'll see you soon with some SSD action.